All right, friends, so we just read the story of cubs in a hut. We're going to be talking about how we can retell this story. All right? We're going to be using characters, settings, and events to retell our story. All right? This is important information to know about a story when you retell it. You have to know who. The who is the characters. Where and when is the settings. Where did this story happen? When did it happen? And events. What happened in the story? Caitlin, can you get the door for us, please? And events are what happened. What happened in the story that was so important? Okay? So when we look at our first scene, our first picture of our story, all right, 3 cubs are named Gus, Russ, and Bud, and they're going to build a hut. They have made a plan to follow, and they are also collecting their building materials, which is muds, sticks, and grass. Who can tell me with a quiet hand, what are characters? What are characters? Alana?
Characters are someone that a little bit, again, thinking a little bit.
Okay, exactly. Alana said characters, Damien, are people, or they could be animals in a story that you see a lot in the story, okay? It could be who the story is about, all right? The who are we talking about? Who is the story about? What are they planning to do? So who can tell me who are our characters in this story? Kayla, thank you for your quiet hand. Russ, he was one of the characters, right? Russ, he was one of the characters in our story. Remember, friends, that they had letters on their shirts to help us identify who the characters were. All right. Ileana, I saw your hand up. Gus, he was also one of our characters as well. Good job. Gus. All right, let's see. Maya, thank you for your quiet hand. Bud. Bud was also another one of our characters. Okay, very good. All right. Now, what do you think our setting was? Looks like we had a couple of different places that this story took place. Let's start off by our first picture. Where does this look like they are? Ashley, thank you for your quiet hand. Where do you think the setting is? Outside. Specifically where outside? You think it's the city? Caitlin, hands to yourself, please. In the forest. Okay, we could say the forest. Is a forest a common place to see a bear? Yeah. Cubs and bears live in forests.
And those are bunnies.
All right. Let's look at our next page. The cubs are moving into their new hut. They are putting up shelves and hanging a picture of themselves inside of their hut. They have moved in a bed and a soccer ball to play with. Where is the setting now? Are they still in the forest? Kayla? They're at the house, specifically in their hut. Okay? Do you think a hut could be a setting as well?
Yeah.
Yeah? I think so too. That's where they are. The where is in the hut. All right? What do the cubs do to move into their new hut? All right? What is something important about the first 2 pages that we looked at? What is something important that is happening? So we talked about setting, forest, and hut in our first 2 pictures. What is an event? What is something that they're doing? What are they doing? start off by our first page. What are they doing, Sophia? They're collecting things to build a hut, Caitlin. Okay, good job, Sophia. They are collecting things to build a hut. So we could say, they're planning to build a hut. Let's say that. Let's say they're planning to
Build
a
house.
hut. Remember, our story's name is Cubs in a Hut. All right. What was going on in this next picture? What were they doing here? Jimmy, thank you for your quiet hand.
They were moving stuff inside the house.
Moving stuff inside the house. All right. Please stop clapping. Thank you. All right. They are moving stuff inside the house. What are they moving inside the house, Jimmy?
A soccer ball. I see some pictures of them moving.
What'd you say? They're moving in.
And I see a blanket. The hut.
They're moving in the hut. All right, so they have a soccer ball.
Blanket.
All right, they have a blanket and some pictures to hang up. Right. All right, what about this next picture, friends? Oh no, the Cubs are trying to sleep in their hut. What happened? Kayla,
The water was getting into the house.
the water was leaking from their roof, wasn't it? Right? Where do you think the water's coming from?
The house.
Do you think they left the bathtub on? No? What do you think? Where do you think the water's coming from?
Top of your house.
Okay. Like maybe from the rain?
Jane.
The water's coming from the rain, maybe?
Oh, maybe the Jane. From the cloud because it has a lot of water inside. Jane.
Yeah, maybe it's raining. Where are they in this story right now?
How?
Anthony?
Inside.
They're inside the
And.
hut. All right? And who are our characters in this scene? Russ, Gus, and who was our last character?
Bud.
All right. So we still have the hut. All right, they're inside the hut. We have our characters, but we don't have what happened. So Kayla said it's leaking. That's our problem. Their problem is their hut is leaking. So we could say the hut leaks. And then let's look at our last picture. What's happening here? Ashley, thank you for your quiet hand. What's happening in this picture? Yeah. They're fixing their house. They're solving their problem. Good job, Alana. The Cubs fix the problem. They climb up on the roof using a ladder. They nail wooden boards over the holes in the roof. This will stop the rain from coming inside. All right? Now the inside of their hut will be nice and dry. I want you to turn to a partner and I want you to explain what the Cubs do to solve the problem of the leaky roof. I want you to turn to a partner and explain what the Cubs do to solve the problem of a leaky roof. All right? I will give you 20 seconds. Time, Miss Doty?
9 minutes.
All right, 10 more seconds. Are you guys discussing what they do to fix the leaky roof? 3, 2, 1. All right. Ready to rock?
Ready to roll!
All right, Ashley, what is one thing thing that you and Caitlin discussed on how they fixed the roof?
They had wood and then they put it on the roof
And they hammered the wood down?
Now you have those little tiny ones. So when you put it on the wood and then you use the hammer.
The nails, they hammered it with nails?
Yeah, me too.
Anthony, did you and Kayla discuss something else?
I just
What did you say?
I said that after that happened,
Okay. All right. So I heard some good points. So the hut leaks. That was the problem. And what did they do to fix their problem? They covered the hole with wood.
wood and nails.
So we could say they fixed the roof. The hut leaks. And they fixed it.
I have another way to fix it.
And they fixed it.
I have another way.
All right, friends. So we talked about the characters, Russ, Gus, and Bud from our story. We talked about the setting that this story takes place. It was taking place in the forest and also in the hut in the forest.
What
Alana?
about the last one?
I didn't see any other settings besides the forest and the hut.
Yeah.
Did anybody else see any other settings besides the forest and the hut? Sophia, did you see one? The setting could also be the time. Ooh, that's a very good point, Sophia. What time of day do you think our story took place in, Sophia? The morning and nighttime. Okay. You know what? Another setting that we could say for time. We could say morning,
Morning.
and then we'll just put a slash here and say night. Tell us the time of day that our setting took place, that our story took place. All right, and we also talked about events. The events in order, because remember, it's very important to talk about a story going in order, okay? So the story makes sense. So we talked about they were planning to build a hut in the beginning. Then they moved in the hut next. And then last, the hut leaks, but then they fixed it. All right? All right. I think that's it, Miss Dowdy.